Tensions are rising in the Asia-Pacific. Hundreds of US paratroopers have just landed in Luzon, Philippines, part of Salaknib 2025, a massive joint military exercise between Washington and Manila. But here's the real question. Is this just another drill, or the opening act of something much bigger in the Indo-Pacific? Stay tuned as we break down the bigger picture of US-China rivalry in Asia. Why Luzon is such a critical battleground. What Salaknib 2025 is really about China's reaction, and why it matters the risks and rewards for the Philippines. And finally, whether this is a drill or preparation for conflict. Let's start with the bigger picture. At the heart of this story is one of the defining rivalries of the 21st century, the United States versus China. For Washington, the Indo-Pacific isn't just a faraway region. It's the beating heart of global trade, technology, and future power. More than half of the world's shipping passes through the South China Sea. The chips and semiconductors that power everything from smartphones to fighter jets are manufactured in Asia. Whoever dominates this region shapes the future of the global economy. For Beijing, this is about more than trade. It's about history, influence, and sovereignty. China sees itself as reclaiming its rightful place as the dominant power in Asia, a position it believes was stolen during the so-called Century of Humiliation. The US, meanwhile, views China's rise not just as competition, but as a challenge to the rules-based international order. That's why hundreds of US paratroopers suddenly landing in Luzon isn't just training. It's a clear signal. The United States is anchoring itself deeper into Asia's front lines. So why does Luzon matter so much in this rivalry? To the north, just across the Bashi Channel, sits Taiwan, the flashpoint that many analysts believe could spark the next Great War. Think of Luzon as a hinge between two crisis zones. From here, US and Filipino forces can rapidly respond in either direction. Need to secure shipping lanes in the South China Sea? Luzon is close enough to deploy air and naval assets quickly. It's no coincidence that under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, the US gained access to multiple bases on Luzon. Luzon has always been a magnet for great power competition. During World War II, it was the site of major battles between the US and Japan. For the Philippines, allowing this kind of US access sends a powerful message. Manila is not just a bystander. It's positioning itself as a frontline state in the Indo-Pacific. Salaknib, which means shield in Ilocano, isn't just a catchy name. It reflects exactly what this exercise is about, protecting Philippine territory while strengthening US-Philippine coordination. This year, Salaknib 2025 brought together hundreds of US paratroopers and their Filipino counterparts for some of the most advanced drills yet. We're talking about rapid deployment operations, moving troops and equipment at lightning speed to different areas. Airfield seizure drills, practicing how to take over and secure critical airstrips. Combined arms tactics, integrating infantry, armor, and air support in coordinated maneuvers. These aren't symbolic gestures or photo ops. They're practical simulations of real battlefield conditions, the kind you'd expect in a scenario involving contested islands or sudden military escalation. Salaknib isn't happening in isolation. It's part of a broader, layered US strategy in the Philippines. For Manila, this also means a confidence boost. By training side by side with US troops, Filipino soldiers are not only improving their skills, they're sending a message to Beijing. The Philippines is not standing alone. The South China Sea isn't just a maritime dispute. It's the economic lifeline of Asia. Every year, more than $3 trillion worth of goods pass through its waters. Energy supplies, raw materials, and manufactured goods all move through these lanes. For the Philippines, it's also about survival. Its fishermen rely on these waters, and its sovereignty is challenged daily by Chinese patrols. That's why Salaknib drills aren't abstract war games. They directly tie into defending these waters, a warning that Manila and Washington are preparing to secure this lifeline together. Control of these lanes means leverage, and for the Philippines, it's a matter of economic and territorial survival. From Beijing's perspective, Salaknib 2025 is more than a military exercise. It's a direct challenge to China's regional ambitions. Chinese officials have condemned the drills as destabilizing and accused Washington of militarizing the Philippines. China isn't just responding with words. It's stepping up Coast Guard patrols in disputed reefs, shadowing Philippine vessels, and expanding military infrastructure on its artificial islands. Chinese warplanes frequently cross into Taiwan's air defense zone. Each US-Philippine drill fuels this tit-for-tat escalation, raising the risk of miscalculation. State-run media paints it as proof that Manila is being used as a pawn in America's strategy to contain China. For Beijing, the fear is clear. If the Philippines becomes a permanent hub for U.S. forces, China's southern flank is exposed. And that makes Luzon not just important, but essential to the balance of power. For the Philippines, the U.S. alliance is both a shield and a gamble. On the one hand, joint drills like Salaknib bring advanced training, access to modern equipment, and the reassurance that America will stand by its treaty obligations. But the risks are equally real. Beijing is not only a powerful neighbor, it's also the Philippines' second-largest trading partner, a major source of investment and goods. A deeper security alignment with Washington could strain economic ties and expose Manila to Chinese economic pressure. Ordinary Filipinos face the dilemma. Will this partnership truly secure their future or draw the nation into the middle of a great power conflict? President Marcos Jr. has been clear that defending sovereignty comes first, but the choices carry real costs. On paper, Salaknib 2025 is just a military exercise, but in reality, it's a demonstration, a show of unity, a message to Beijing that Washington will stand with Manila. Whether this prevents war or brings it closer depends on what happens next. But one thing is certain, the Indo-Pacific has entered a new era of uncertainty, and Luzon is right at the center of it. Hundreds of US Paratroopers in Luzon, a massive exercise called Salaknib 2025, rising tensions in the South China Sea, and a Philippines caught between two superpowers. The stakes are high: the future of Taiwan, the freedom of the South China Sea, and the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific. But what do you think? Is this really about defense, or a step toward confrontation? Could these drills protect peace, or ignite conflict? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into global security. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and keep watching the waters of the Indo-Pacific.